Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Chalk Talk here in the DK Pittsburgh Sports Steelers YouTube channel. Chris Halicke going to go over Aaron Rodgers, Week 7 at the Pittsburgh Steelers at Acrisure Stadium. Steelers fans might remember this game pretty well. This was the first game after the Jets acquired Davante Adams. There was a lot of talk about the Steelers possibly acquiring Mike Williams, but this hadn't happened prior to the game, so Mike Williams was still a Jet. Obviously, we know that a trade goes down relatively quickly after this game. Either way, there was a lot of hype around this game because Rodgers finally had his buddy, and we're going to see how it's going to play out. The Jets get off to a really good start. They go up at one point. I think they were up 15-6. And then they get shut out in the second half. Just nothing happens, and then Russell Wilson, it's his first start. He turns it on. The Steelers score 24 points in the second half. They win the game 37-15. The Jets drop their fourth straight game. Aaron Rodgers finished the game 24 of 39 for 276 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, sacked just 1 time. Protection was pretty good in this game for the most part, but the Steelers didn't blitz a whole bunch either way. Those numbers were good enough for a passer rating of 70 and an ESPN QBR of 50.2. So not great on the ESPN QBR front. PFF wasn't that much more friendly. They gave him a grade of 67.4. Which, again, for those who don't understand the grading scale by PFF, it is if you do nothing, you get a 60. So it's not much better if he were just standing on the sideline. Passing grade of 66.4. He was credited with 1 big-time throw and only 1 turnover-worthy play. Remember, he threw 2 picks, so we'll see why both picks were not considered turnover-worthy plays. And it's pretty obvious once we get into the film. Anyway, so again, first game after they get Davante Adams. This is, that's the big story coming into this game. Rodgers' first pass of the game. He's looking for Adams on this quick little hitch right there. And, time is not quite there yet. Just it doesn't work. Not the best throw from Rodgers. But you could tell we're going to try to get this. It's a little wide. Adams has to kind of leap at it. Not great. Definitely not what the Jets wanted to do to start things off. And then second drop back of the game. They move here to a stack formation. Just me personally, I love receivers being stacked. It can create all kinds of confusion for what these guys are doing to try to cover that. Either way, Rodgers drops back. Again, you're looking for the back foot. Where is he looking at the back foot? He's definitely looking more in this direction. Whatever it is definitely covered up. And again, I like stack formations, but receivers should never be that close to each other when they're this far downfield. I mean, it's second and 9 or something like that. Either way, okay, let's break this down real quick. This receiver right here, what's he running? He is running a deep corner. The other receiver is running a deep out. Okay. If you're running this, and I've seen this concept before where you have this, and that's a deep corner, and then you have this, and he's running a deep out. I've seen this is not, the Steelers have ran this before. They've done this with, I believe they stacked Deontay and George Pickens together, if I'm not mistaken. This was a couple years ago. When you do something like this, you have to find a way to make sure that these two receivers are not running side by side, pretty much being able to hold each other's hands. Because that allows the defenders to collapse in on them, and then getting any kind of separation at all becomes very difficult. Now, by the time Garrett Wilson gets out of his break and he's open, Rodgers is going to get sacked. Like, it's not a play that's conducive for high percentage success. It's just not. Now, I don't know if that means that this just needs to be a quicker out to the sticks to give him that option earlier. But what I like to see, and if you're wondering, okay, if you like stacked receivers, but you don't like receivers to be in this position downfield, how do you do this? Well, you can always do something called a bit of like a switch release, where you have this, or you can have this guy kind of take off directly, the guy who's leading the charge and eventually going to go around that corner, and then this guy can kind of do this little step, whether it's to the outside or to the inside, whatever it is, and then especially if he's trying to run if he's trying to run an out, which he is here, you can try to do a quick little step to the inside and follow behind and then dive out. Either way, with how far they get downfield, by the time they both make their breaks at the same point, that should not happen. That is poorly designed offense, in my opinion. That's poorly designed offense. An out should not. The line of scrimmage is at the 24-yard line, and he breaks this off at the 40. That's 16 yards. And it's the same depth that Adams is running a corner. That's, in my opinion, that is bad offense. And it's asking this guy to wait this out for a long time, and it's asking these guys to block for a very, very, very long time. We're talking nearly 3 seconds. That's a long time in the NFL. So, bad offense, in my opinion, and it leads to a sack. So those are your first two dropbacks of the game. You get a timing's not quite there with Devontae, and then you get a sack on, in my opinion, a poorly designed play. The protection here is not bad, but by the time he gets to the back foot, everything's blocked up. It's a 4-man rush. Rodgers steps up, and he even tries to kind of, maybe possibly check this down. Like, okay, I have my check down here, but I really want to try to give this play, a chance, because that's what we're running here. That's what he's reading. It just takes forever to develop. I'm sorry, that out on that play should not be 16 yards. He should be trailing Devontae, in my opinion, from whenever I've seen this stuff successfully ran, and that even includes under Matt Canada with the Steelers, because I've seen it happen before. That second receiver can trail behind the other receiver and then break off his route earlier, and that way there can be proper depth between the corner and the out. That's not what this was. Anyway, next play. Steelers in man coverage. What do we got here? Quick little stick route to Devontae. There you go. That's one thing that I think really Rodgers wanted, was he wanted a guy who he could really rely on in the quick game. Obviously, Devontae can do a lot more things than just run the quick game, but also he's capable of doing damage in the quick game. And you can kind of see it there. He makes the catch. Then he makes, Porter miss a little bit. He catches that, 5 yards shy of the line of scrimmage, just under 5 yards shy of the line of scrimmage. And he gets up to, if not makes the first down, gets really, really close to it. It's not bad coverage from Porter. He's right there when the receiver's catching it and turning. Just Adams knows how to make guys miss. So, but I think that's something that Rodgers really wanted, because obviously as we've seen over the first 6 weeks, it was not clicking with Garrett Wilson for the most part. And when it was clicking, it was on slants and drags and crossers, stuff that's not as, slants are timing based too, but like the drags and the crossers, those were the times that it's not as, timing isn't as important on those routes as it is on, stick and, slants for the most part. But then like arrows and hitch and curl and outs and corners, that stuff just wasn't there. And so Adams gave, Rodgers a guy that he's comfortable with. Back foot hits, Adams is there, easy pitch and catch. And then Adams also has the ability to create after the catch too. So it's definitely something Rodgers wanted. No doubt about that. That's go 3x1 to 2x2. Back foot right there. What are you looking at here? Oh, this is definitely open. Adams is running this deep dig right here. Oh, he stumbles out of the break. Yeah. Stumbles out of the break. Doesn't look like there's that much contact. If anything, it looks like Adams pushes off a little bit. He just loses his footing. Ball's already coming out. So it's thrown with anticipation. Let's see what happens over here. He's going to Adams the whole way. And who's covering him? Jackson. Jackson's not a great man coverage corner. Adams gets the little, you get the extension there, so he tries to get the little shove. He just slips. If he doesn't slip, is this ball going to be on target? Looks like it. It might be a little far ahead, a little bit. Good job for Benton, by the way, of getting his hands up. That'll end up paying dividends later in the game. For those of you who remember, if you don't, then you'll see it. That's probably on target. Again, it's always hard to tell when a receiver stumbles. But I'm going to say that at the bare minimum, it's still a catchable ball. It's just the receiver stumbles. Can't really do much about that. Let's see. Next play. Let's see. We can't even get to the back foot, and he's already under pressure. Who was that? Is that Benton? Yeah, Benton had a good game. He wins this immediately. Oh, yeah, I think this is the big play to Breece Hall. So whatever Rodgers is looking for, by the time he gets to his back foot, so he first looks at this, and you get this, this kind of wrap a little bit, this drift, and it's not going to be there. You got the curl flat underneath right here. The hook curl is standing right in that window, so that's not going to be there. So Rodgers does a good job of turning that down quickly. And then he sees, oh, crap, I'm in trouble. Both the guard and the center lose here. Actually, so this is always good. This is what the Steelers ideally want. You don't ever want both of your defensive tackles winning when Cam Hayward's not on the field, like the other team's perspective. Cam Hayward's not even on the field. You're like, oh, you got a break. Yeah, not when both Larry Ogunjobi and Keanu Benton win, and now Rodgers is under duress. But Rodgers, knowing he's under duress, this guy wasn't open. He turned it down. So it's quick, get to the check down. Where's my check down? Let me throw it. This cannot happen. Like, a missed tackle there cannot happen. Everybody hated on Queen for this, and nobody hated on Queen for this more than Patrick Queen himself, by the way. But still, Queen is not the only one at fault. There are 4 Steelers around Breece Hall, and it can't happen. It can't. Rodgers, again, he's even turning that down before his back foot even hits. So he hasn't even seen Keanu Benton make the center just, oh gosh. The center even tries to tackle him. That's funny. But like, back foot's not even hitting, he's already turning it down. So that just goes to show that Rodgers is he's seeing the defense that's being ran, and it's not there. Then he gets there, he sees, okay, oh crap, Keanu's there, oh crap, Larry Ogunjobi's there too, I'm under duress, there's not really an option. I think he's trying to possibly look and see maybe what's going on with Conklin, But nope. Let me just get it to my check down. And this ball, great job from Breece Hall. Now, I have a hard time really nitpicking at Rodgers here, saying, oh, this has got to be right there on the numbers. Dude's got 2 300-plus pound guys in his lap about to eat him for lunch. You just got to get it in the general vicinity and hope the guy makes a catch, and that's exactly what Breece Hall does. And huge game because of missed tackles by the Steelers' defense. Now, as bad as the Steelers' offense was early, they turned it around. And as bad as the Steelers' defense was early, they also turned it around. Both sides of the ball were phenomenal in the second half. And it did show in the actual box score. 24 points for the Steelers offense, a shutout in the second half. We're not quite there yet, but it gets better for the Steelers, by the way. This right here, this is the easy pitch and catch for a touchdown. This is what we call teach tape. If you know anybody who is a young quarterback who wants to learn how to do a proper play action fake, watch Aaron Rodgers. He's been doing this for a long time. Ball's right there. This is looking like it's going to be handed off. You get the follow through with the hand out, which is perfect. He's holding the ball in a spot where the defense can't see it. So for all intents and purposes, from the defense's view, this is a handoff. This is perfectly done. Extended hand makes it look like he just put the ball in there. He's hiding the ball so that you can't see it, especially like this guy can't see it. This guy can't see the ball. He probably can't see the ball. We'll get a better view from the end zone. But that completely sells the run, and then this is just wide bleeping open. This is teach tape stuff. Again, hiding the ball. There's no way he can see the ball. There's no way he can see the ball. Even here, you might not be able to see it. Like, possibly could, but again, doing a phenomenal job of hiding that ball. But Benton is so far away from the play that there's no possible way that even if he wasn't sold on it, the whole thing that you're trying to do here is get these guys to bite, which is why you're holding the ball there. This is why details matter, folks. Details matter right there because you get both of those guys to jump in. That's both Minkah Fitzpatrick and Landon Roberts. Then easy pitch and catch for the touchdown. I mean, easy pitch and catch for the touchdown. So, yeah, that is how you do it. Next play, second half now, I believe. No, I think this is still first half. Rodgers, yeah, this is still second quarter. Great back shoulder throw here. You got James Pierre in coverage over here. Dante Jackson was out at this point with an injury. This is just great anticipation. I mean, this ball is getting thrown before Lazard's even 4 yards downfield. This is just complete trust in the back shoulder throw, having that timing down with Alan Lazard against a subpar coverage corner. Nothing against James Pierre, but his calling card is special teams. It's not pass coverage. Just a great throw, great catch. This is a quarterback and a receiver who has their timing down. I mean, seriously, this ball, I mean, it's out so fast that everything else almost doesn't matter, and it's just right there on the money. It's perfect. So, yeah. Can't ask for more. Let's see. Jets are driving down the field. Okay, yeah, I think this is the first interception. Rodgers is going for this kind of we've seen this throw quite a bit over the first 6 weeks, where whoever the number 3 is here or whoever the inside receiver is here kind of runs this skinny post type thing to the middle of the field against middle field open. And a lot of the time, Rodgers has been able to kind of layer this throw over the top based off of the defense. And what the Steelers do here so well is that Beanie Bishop anticipates this, and while it doesn't look like there's going to be any depth there, because this is your straight up cover 2 at this point. You got this is straight up cover 2. And Bishop does a great job of anticipating and then running with the receiver downfield. Even though that's not really man coverage, Bishop does a great job of getting downfield, getting in that window, and then making a phenomenal play to intercept that ball. It's also not a great throw from Rodgers, and you see this from the end zone view. This is one time where Rodgers is targeting Wilson, and I don't really find any fault in Wilson's route. And that, for proper context, that is without seeing the play in the playbook, knowing the details, the depth of when he's supposed to be in and out of his break, all that. But from what it looks like on film, there's no stopping, there's no hand fighting, there's no slowing down at any point. It's just this, okay, I'm going to the middle of the field, that's what I'm doing. And I'm sorry, this is just a poor throw. And again, you get this kind of drift a little bit to the left from Rodgers. Just a little bit. He's kind of falling away a bit, and he's kind of drifting to his left just a hair. It's thrown with anticipation. By the time the ball is starting to be thrown, which is right there, the receiver's behind. He's still got to get over here. But again, this kind of little drift to the left here ends up costing him, because instead of the pass being probably here where it should be, it is there. So it's behind, and now Beanie Bishop has a chance to get it. It's also probably not the smartest decision. You're trying to throw. It's also good defense by the Steelers. Now, granted, you're attacking deep middle of the field against middle field open. Should be open. And this hook defender, which Beanie Bishop is there, doesn't normally get this kind of depth on basic cover 2. This is not Tampa 2. He would have already been further downfield if this were Tampa 2. He just does this is just a great play by Beanie Bishop on top of a poor throw from Rodgers. So this gets intercepted. Great play by Bishop. Got to give the credit there. Next play. That was the turnover-worthy play, by the way. Rodgers does this really hard pump fake to this side. Maybe they're trying to get the safety to bite over here, which they do. Rodgers then comes back around, and you get this dig from Garrett Wilson, and this has got to be a busted coverage, in my opinion. In no way should you... Now, this does look like a version of cover 6, because if you split the field in half, you've got 2 deep defenders over here, and you've got 1 over here, which that is typically cover 6, which is a combination of cover 2 on this side and cover 4 on this side. You should never have the 3 underneath defenders at this point then all on this side of the field, because then you are vulnerable if there are any intermediate routes that come over here and there's nobody underneath to possibly cut that off, which is exactly what happens. Wilson, this is just not great from him. And that leaves Garrett Wilson wide open. Now, he's able to use his speed to come back and help make the tackle, and he hits him kind of hard, but damage done at that point. So, great pump fake from Rodgers. Comes back. There should not be this amount of grass in which there are no underneath defenders. I don't care if this is cover 6 or cover 8 or whatever it is. There should be at least 1 defender underneath over here. At least 1. And there's not. So this is busted coverage, in my opinion. And Rodgers takes full advantage of it. And the Jets get a big chunk. Next play. Back foot hits. Kind of hard to see where he's going with this, but definitely you got Adams coming across on this drag. You also have Highsmith breathing down Rodgers' neck. Maybe he begins to feel this pressure. the throw still kind of off. So, in my opinion, even with the pressure there, and we'll get a better view from the end zone view here, maybe he's kind of feeling this, and based off of this and he's also feeling this too. Is this Benton again? Yeah, that's Benton again. Benton had a game, man. He had a game against this offensive line. Benton's making him feel the pressure. Highsmith is coming right here, so he's definitely Rodgers is feeling the pressure based off of this body posture right here, and then release. That is definitely feeling some pressure, and he tries to make this kind of jump throw. I mean, when he gets rid of the ball, he is completely in the air. And it misses. That's just a miss by Rodgers. You could, again, credit the pass rush for helping force that incompletion. The good thing is that the Steelers got away with another busted coverage, because you could see here, going back, Queen is pointing right here, like, and then clapping, like, that's usually not ever a good sign, especially when you see this corner running with this receiver and then this receiver running with nobody with him. That means that either they were supposed to be in zone or they were supposed to be in man, and either way, this guy's left open. And so Queen tries to go make up for it, and thankfully, the pass rush helps force an incompletion there. This is also on third down, by the way, so that could have been catastrophic. But yeah, that could have been really, really bad. All right. Next play. This might be the second interception. Yeah. Put Breece Hall out. He's now the number 1. You move the tight end in. He's now the number 2. This is we've been talking about the Rodgers-Wilson disconnect here, and again, there's really nothing with Wilson here that's wrong. I mean, this is a double move to the outside. Garrett Wilson, it's not slow, it's out. Rodgers anticipates it, and the throw is, I mean, it's right there. I mean, you can't ask any more from the quarterback than to put it right on the numbers. And then, oh boy. You're Aaron Rodgers, you're Matt. By the way, Devontae Adams here. Full-blown extension. Supermaning his way to Beanie Bishop. Makes the tackle. Yeah. That can't happen. That is on the money. It can't happen, man. It just can't. Because then the ball pops up. It's easily picked. That's obviously not on Aaron Rodgers. Patrick Queen, by the way, here levels. I think it's this guy right here. He levels an offensive lineman. I mean, he hits him at about the 23. That offensive lineman finally hits the ground near the 15. He left the game. He laid a massive hit on that guy. Yeah. See those terrible towels going. Great play from Bishop, capitalizing on a mistake. It's definitely not Rodgers. So that's why he wasn't credited with 2 turnover-worthy plays when he threw 2 picks, because that was obviously not on the quarterback. So he gets some pressure from up front. Rodgers' back foot hits. He's got Lazard coming right here. Yeah. Easy peasy. Yeah, this is what happens when you blitz. You don't get there. There's nobody underneath. I mean, Lazard wins. Also, this was not Rodgers' first read. Rodgers is definitely looking to Adams here first. So he's reading this 1-2. So So this is under pressure, going through progression and getting rid of the ball. Perfect. So that's experience as a quarterback. Now, if you're wondering through some of these throws, now again, these aren't all of his dropbacks, but I think the one thing that we can pretty much say about Rodgers' performance in this game for the most part is it wasn't overly spectacular. He didn't do a lot of over-the-top spectacular things to elevate the team by making a bunch of really good layered throws. It was a lot of reliance on the quick game, on back shoulder stuff. Saw it work with Lazard, saw it not work, obviously, with Garrett Wilson. And then the Steelers' defense started playing defense in the second half, and this is a really great example of it. Steelers just go basic cover 3 here out of here. You get 4 rushing. You've got your 3 deep defenders. Minka right here. And you got Adams. He's attacking the seam here. That's one of the weaknesses in cover 3. Rodgers wants to go there, and he kind of does this. You could tell he wants it. And this looks open right now. Like if he throws this and he layers this like to about right there, maybe that's there. But Minka is lurking, and Minka has exceptional closing speed. If Rodgers tries to bullet this to Adams right there, this is going to get intercepted by Minka. He will absolutely jump this, intercept it, and go. That's how he has made his living. So Rodgers turns it down, gets over, tries to play hero ball, gets to Garrett Wilson. It's a little wide. Wilson can't make the catch. You see it better from the end zone view here. You get the play action fake. I mean, you got Adams coming down the seam. And again, if this is bending in, which you can see Adams is running that, he's bending in. Minka is reading the eyes here, and he's coming over. And Rodgers, he's probably peeking the safety. I know the helmet is totally looking in this direction, but he's probably using his eyes to peek the safety, and he's like, yeah, no, if I throw that, it's going to get picked. Because look at by the time Rodgers is there, this looks like it's wide open, right? To the time where Rodgers begins to turn it down, the window's already starting to close. And if he were to actually throw that, the time it would take for him to get the ball from there to there, which is about where Adams would be, yeah, Minka would have closed in on that. It could have been picked. It also could have been putting Davante Adams in the hospital. He gets over. He tries to make this off-platform throw. I mean, if that's, I don't want to say George Pickens. That's not fair. If that's probably 10 or 15 other receivers in the league, it's probably caught. I mean, he's got both feet in bounds. It hits him in the hands. Again, from my perspective, as somebody who played receiver, if it hits me in the hands, I'm catching it. It hits him in the hands. He doesn't catch it. I also understand this, too. I'm not going to pin this. So this is Garrett Wilson's fault. It's not the best throw either. So, yeah. All right. Next play, I think we get the final 2 plays here. So this is after, like, every time the Steelers get the ball, pretty much they're going and scoring a touchdown. And you can see the Jets, like that last play, that was one of 3 plays inside the 20. The Jets just went incomplete. The Steelers are playing lockdown. Like one of those was a bomb, or not a bomb, but kind of like this go ball down the sideline to Mike Williams, and Joey Porter Jr. just completely clamped it down like nothing. And they also started to get a better beat on the quick game, not like especially on this drive right here. Like there was a big chunk to Garrett Wilson, but you could tell the Steelers were playing more passive there. But here we are, Jets are starting to get closer. Now they start playing a little tighter. And Rodgers here, he doesn't like what he sees. This is really good coverage here from the Steelers. This is actually man coverage here. So you've got 1-2-3 versus 1-2-3, and they're splitting that up. And Deshaun Elliott is over here, and he's actually responsible for this tight end. And so when this tight end stays in the block, Elliott's just kind of waiting there, and he's patient. Rodgers is obviously looking here to this side first, and nothing is going to be there right away. Nothing. Wilson does a great job of picking this so that Lazard can't get over and get that clearance. And Rodgers has already turned that down by the time anyway. Plus, he sees this tight end, outlet there, and he's like, all right, I'll just take that. We just got to get to this. We just got to get to this marker right here. That's it. That's all we got to get to move the chains. Well, there's this man named Deshaun Elliott who just got a contract extension, who crashes down and just levels him. Forces the incompletion. Great play. Elliott does a good job of just kind of playing this kind of off thing. So Rodgers thinks, oh, yeah, I could just dump this down really quick. No big deal. And then Elliott just right there. Big hit. Incomplete pass. Great play. Final play here. What did I tell you about Keon and Benton, guys? Jets start to rely on the quick game a little too much. They go with this empty set. You got a trio on this side. How often have we seen this? Slant from the number 2 there. Now they got Adams doing it. It's there. Rodgers gets rid of it, and Benton just says, nope, not happening today. And that was on 4th down. This was the last play by the Jets in the game. Phenomenal job by Benton to get his hands up. Again, this is a great game from him. This is one of those games where, again, a lot doesn't show up in the box score in terms of, he didn't sack the quarterback or he didn't. You've seen just in a few of these dropbacks him having a hand in why certain plays didn't succeed, and this one he literally had a hand. He had 2 hands in why this play didn't succeed by batting that pass down right there. So, again, from the Rodgers perspective here, nothing was overly extraordinary. Like one bad pass for sure, that was the interception. A few misses, okay, quarterbacks miss. A couple of nice throws, the back shoulder, the one that was intercepted that bounced off of Garrett Wilson's chest and hands. That was a good throw. Like there were some good throws in there too. Also, nothing extraordinary either. And I don't think the Jets were trying to go for extraordinary in this game. I think they thought that we'll rely on quick game. We'll attack their cover 3 a lot. Take advantage of zone. It didn't work. Just didn't. It did early on, and they scored 15 points. Then the Steelers tightened things up, started playing more responsibly, and they clamped everything down. So, anyway, that's that one. That's it. That was the Aaron Rodgers against the Steelers game. Next week, they go to New England to play the Patriots for the second time. Last time, Rodgers did very, very well. Completed 77% of his passes, so we'll see how he does next week, which will be tomorrow's Chalk Talk. So we'll see you then.